I am copying everything out of the chat though, and who submitted the questions. And the recording has started. We had group admin access and it disappeared. We've reached out to the help desk, but can you say when this will be restored?
I'm looking to see if there's anything we have noted on our end that would cause that. So we don't have anything on our side. So you had group admin access as an individual, and then you're going in there, and now the permissions have been updated. All the permissions are gone. Is there anybody from your firm that has access? Okay. All right. Well, then I will. Let me look into that. And yeah, we need to. You've already logged something with the help desk. We probably need to, if we can get your information and show what, again, to email Todd, and we're going to get that information so we can log it properly, and then we can make sure that we can reach back out to everybody and tell them what's going on. Because yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of that.
From Stacy, is there a process for filing documents for cases we won't be filing an RCR for, i.e. when there is no rehabilitation consultation and an employee declines services? Mike, does that question?
Actually, could you repeat that question again?
Is there a process for filing documents for cases we won't be filing?
There are two possible solutions, and currently we're reviewing those two solutions to figure out which one should be used. We hope to have an answer for you fairly soon on that, but we need to get our arms around that one.
I think you're still on mute, Mike. Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right. Hopefully you heard. What I was saying is that there are two possible solutions that I've come up with regarding this situation. However, what I need to do is to review, get consensus so that we can let you folks know which of those solutions are best to use. So as soon as we know, we will certainly let you know, because it does occur occasionally.
We are having permissions issues as well and have not been able to do any forms yet. Angela instructed our firm to complete the group registration renewal and list our staff on the application. We tried this and it would not submit. She is aware of this and said they are working on it.
Okay.
So thank you for that. Do we still need to go through the help desk to get WIDs? And if not, how do we get the WIDs?
I believe there's a process put out there on how to get the WIDs through CRT, contacting copy file review. Mike, or do you know that process offhand?
At this point, the only way we're aware of the people being able to get WIDs is actually, and generally you're going to be getting the WIDs is when they're going through and doing a rehab consultation report. So, the easiest way to do that, of course, is use the last four digits of the social, their last name, and I believe the date of injury. When the campus pops up, you'll see the employee's WID, which is actually called now an EEID, and then it'll be like, I want to say 7 or 9 digits long. 9 digits, I think.
So Mike, you're saying when they file, they've got options to provide information they know that will gain them the WID. They don't have to know it going in if they know those other pieces of information.
That's correct. Otherwise, for people that are trying to enter into their what's called legacy files, which are the ones that were previously in our old database, you'll need to make up digits to be able to make up the 9-digit requirements. So say that you have 7 digits. If you'll put 2 zeros before that, you'll have the 9 digits that you need, and that should also help you gain entry into your current files.
Once an R8 is filed, will the case go away or will it just stay in our cases indefinitely? Also, to clarify, if we are missing cases previously submitted with all info on the survey, do we need to email Brad? For that second part, if you filled out the survey and you're still missing cases, please email me. My email, I can put my email address in the chat again, so you don't have to scroll all the way to the top, and we can follow up on that. And Mike, maybe you can answer the first part of the question. You want me to repeat?
No, actually, I believe that the R8 is supposed to go away, but I don't know that for sure since I've only been dealing with test environment.
Yeah, we'll verify it. The RA is the closure, and so then, typically speaking, you could see your closed cases in there that was filed in campus. So they wouldn't stay in there. They wouldn't just be under the open. So when you look at the filter, you can look at closed as well. But with this new process of how we had to get the old cases in there by automatically closing things and having the page not display that, I will verify what that behavior is going to be like in the future. Is there preferences while I'm looking at it?
So if there's preferences for after you file an R8, if you want the case to drop off or stick around, I think that's what Brad's looking for. You could type that in the chat or send me an email on that. And Amy added, just for clarification, I will get some sort of notification when my rehab files are in campus, as I have no claims showing yet and no updates on this. So she's wondering if she'll get notified when those cases pop up.
We're going to notify the people that we were unable to upload information on, by Wednesday to let everybody know. We have to run some scripts and get that information out of there, but we will update people because we have your email address and let you know that we were unable to do that and give you the process going forward.
A request to record the rehab group admin session at 3 o'clock today.
That's a good segue. So the group admin session at 3 o'clock today. We don't have anybody that can facilitate it well. We are going to have to reschedule it because Angie does need to facilitate that, and we can definitely record it. The reason why it's still on the calendar is because it is Angie's meeting, and so we can't actually delete it. So I will come on that session, and we can continue to talk. And if there's other things we want to discuss, I will be open to do that. But the actual group administrator session won't be able to happen today without Angie.
All right. Will group admins have the My Rehab Cases tab? It shows in the QRC's accounts, but not mine. Is this related to permissions?
Are you a QRC or are you a like a staff?
A staff and group admin.
Okay, so yeah, we're exploring why some of the people's cases are not showing up under their staff that are associated to them. We verified it, and we have some that are working. And so, if you want to send the example of if you're associated to a QRC and your page, you can't see it because it won't be under your claims, but if you could just show us what you're seeing, then we can get in there and try to try to look at it.
And we had somebody chime in on the how long things should stick around after filing an R8. The preference for them would be that it drop off, but to be able to search for it if needed.
Yeah, I think that's the behavior we had landed on in the requirements. So we will. More to come on that, and I'll see what we can do. I see how the system's going to behave, and then we'll log anything if we need more.
Yeah, and we also had somebody say that the files should stick around after an R8. So, maybe the option to display closed or only open kind of things versus completely dropping off.
Okay.
Yeah, and someone else too. I think if we have future access, if needed, they would need to find. It sounds like they would need to be able to find an R8, but wouldn't want it to stay in the active cases. So some kind of filtering on that. Yep, being able to sort active versus closed. Another one here, if we have started an R form using the old system, how do we find the document to submit?
I guess I don't understand what that question is. Maybe they could repeat or clarify further.
Yeah, so I got that one from Evelyn. Evelyn, if you want to clarify your question or email a question with a few more specifics to Mike or I, we can help get you the answer to that. So as a group administrator who's not a QRC, what actions can they take in campus?
So group administrators, the designation of group administrator is the person that's responsible for doling out permissions and associating people in the group. That's their actual role. If you're a group administrator, but you're just not a QRC, but you do work for QRCs or with QRCs, you can associate yourself to QRCs and you would be able to see cases and help them with their filing.
So just as a default a group administrator, you still need to associate yourself with a QRC to see cases? Okay.
Yeah.
Attempting to fill out revised R3 form, however, plan costs to date amount I entered does not save. I need to re-enter the number every time I save, exit, and re-enter the form.
Yeah. I think that was captured earlier, Todd, in the R3s, not the drafts are working on the plan cost.
Got it. And this is probably similar. How do we get the R3 forms to complete? How do we get the R forms to complete, for example, the R3?
For a new case or for a migrated case? Because we have been seeing that other than they don't save as draft, which we're hearing about right now, if you don't try to do the save as draft and you just go through it, that they will complete. Are you getting an issue where you're hitting the submit and you're getting the same errors that I think somebody else on the call said that it's not not doing anything?
He said both for new and.
Okay.
And so is that, since it's both, does that fall into the category we already talked about? Or is this something different, Brad?
I think we have somebody sending you examples of the R3 not working when they hit submit, that it just it doesn't tell them if it was submitted or not. Yeah, perfect. So we'll take that down and look at those.
Very good. So this has to do with clicking on the associated claim number and not having access to it. I assume permission to view the claim. Is that automatic, Brad?
That is not automatic, and that was by design. So the claim tells you that a claim is there, but as a rehab provider, you don't automatically get access to the claim without filing an authorization to get access to the claim, and it has to be signed by the employee. So there is a web form for it under the filings. When you're in there to say, go to the claimant, do a filing to do an authorization, and then CRT reviews it, and then they could give you access to the claim itself. But by design, just filing a rehab case does not actually give you automatic access to the claim.
And Brad, if I can
We
jump
had
in
a
there for a second.
Hmm?
It really is not anything unusual from the way it's always been. As far as you would not normally have complete access to an employee's full workers' comp file, where you're seeing what the insurer is filing, what the department is filing, the attorneys are filing, etc. Normally, what you would have is just access to your case, the R forms that you're filing, any kinds of decisions that are related to that, etc. So while you can go ahead and ask the employee to sign a release to see his entire claim, typically that just does not happen.
Thanks.
There is a gray shaded circle next to the employee's name which states next submission RCR on a file where there was an RCR already filed. Should this not state R2?
Yeah, so that's I'm assuming this is a migrated case, or is it a new case?
A new case.
New case. Well, yeah, no, then that should not be saying that. You are correct. We will. I will capture that.
Yep. Maybe if you could reference that in an email with the RT number, that would help us. Our associates in campus are incorrect. How do we correct that?
The association from staff to QRC, or associates as in you have QRCs showing in your firm that do not belong to your firm.
They're associates that do not belong.
Do not belong to the firm. So we have QRCs in a firm that aren't supposed to be there. I would email Todd that we haven't, that data was all migrated, and we have pretty up-to-date information on that based on submissions in your applications.
Brad, there has been some problems where we found where either associates that were members of the firm years and years and years ago are being shown as being active, which they shouldn't be at this point. So it may be something we want to take a look further into.
Yeah, if it's an old member that's part of the showing, but they're not there anymore, but they've retired, I think we can look into that, Mike, because I think you guys have that information, right?
So what do you recommend for Jeff? Should he email a screenshot of what he's talking about?
Email a screenshot of what you're talking about, and then we can apply the appropriate remedy.
Okay. From Laura, are we supposed to upload not submitted R3s or completely redo the not filed R3s?
When you say not submitted, are you talking that after November 2nd, you had to do an R3 and the system was preventing it, and so you need to do it? Because if that's the case, then you should be filing them in campus.
Right.
They,
So what they'll want to do is they'll want to recreate the form submitted in that they circulated to all the different parties. Create that form in campus and then upload your signature docs into that current campus document so that you can meet all your requirements.
Yeah, and Laura clarified those were drafts that were started prior to 11.2. And I know we didn't migrate drafts over. Is that your understanding, Mike?
Drafts that were in campus?
Oh, in legacy.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is true. The drafts that were started in legacy were not migrated over to the campus.
I'm on an open file and I want to complete an R3, but I cannot find where I can complete one. Where can I find the R forms?
isn't there a submit a filing button at the top when you're on the rehab case?
Yeah, so have a look at the, he said he did that. If you might have to send us then a screenshot of when you click that link that shows what options show up. That might give us some clues.
Yeah, if I can further elaborate, and what Brad was saying is correct. There's the one kind of a gray button that says R forms, and then there's one next to it that says submit a filing. You want to do the R form one, which will then show you the RCR, R2, R3. The submit a filing will not do that. The only time you would be using that particular button is if you have some type of optional form that you're going to be uploading. For instance, you had a change of QRC and you're providing cost information to all the parties, including to DLI, and you're filing that submit a filing optional button where you can upload that document would be the perfect spot to do that.
So we had a question about going forward when there's questions from the QRCs, who should they be contacting? Help desk, Mike, Angela, Brad, Todd, all the above. Don't want to fill up email boxes if not appropriate.
I mean, the appropriate response is to contact the help desk. If you when you contact them, they should be routing it to the appropriate person that can help you. Just like now, people are trying to contact Angie directly. She's going to be out for a while, and so those emails are going to be just locked up in her email. So I would recommend contacting the help desk. They can distribute. And then, of course, during these answer hour sessions, I mean, this is where if you're not getting a response from them because either they just they're researching it or they don't have enough, these sessions are really designed so we can talk about it and get that information out there and figure out what's going on.
So that's the last question in the chat at this time. We have a request to keep the answer hours going for a while. What's the plan there, Brad? And Mike.
So right now, we have answer hours set up for the week. So we have the one today, then we have on the week of the 30th to have more answer hours. And with this community, we might do 2 that week just to try and get you squared away. And I think if we look at this calendar, yeah, we have both one on Monday and one on Friday the 4th. So we will continue to do these answer hours. And again, on the 7th and the 11th, by this time, we should be having everybody be able to file, and these issues should be resolved. So this is the current plan. And of course, if we need more, we will continue to do more.
On the week of the 30th, Brad, the Monday one, are those, what time are those?
I don't know. I kind of just go where I'm told. So I will follow up, and Mike, we'll throw that in the weekly communication. We always do, but just make sure that goes out there with what time. We try to keep them around the same time every week, but there are some that unfortunately we do have to move around depending on our internal availability.
Do you know if those, Mike, do you know if those meeting dates and times are out on the website somewhere?
Let me check. I don't have them scheduled in my calendar, so I suspect they're not yet scheduled.
Okay. I'll make sure they go out this week. All right. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Like I said, I'm going to jump on the next answer hour. We can continue to have discussions about things. But unfortunately, the group administrator training is going to have to be rescheduled for later this week or next, the week of the 30th. Thank you so much for your patience and working with us. And we will continue to make sure that that we are in constant contact and we are hearing what's going on straight from you. So we appreciate it. Todd, anything from you?
No, I think that's good. I mean, we took a lot of notes here. We got some follow-ups. Work with getting information out to that. Does everybody knows where that web page is, right, Brad? That was on your presentation. And is that where a lot of the information will appear?
Yeah, we're going to try and keep that page more up to date. But yeah, we should be getting stuff on that page or sending stuff out directly. Gov delivery, if it's big enough.
Okay.
And we
did have some.
We should note that in that Work Campus Rehab newsletter that goes out, that that information actually has a hyperlink right to that page for you too.
Excellent. And we got some good feedback that the help desk has been timely and helpful. So that's great feedback. Thank you for that. I know that they're working hard.
All right.
Mike, yeah, we had somebody ask for where the Q&A page is. Mike, is that something you can pop into the chat, or did you answer the question where Anthony can look to find that?
I answered the question. Let me see if I can also find a link on that. Hold on.
All right. Well, we can wrap, and I'll hang on the meeting open, and people want to wait and see the link Mike puts into chat. Otherwise, thank you all.
Yep. And we are going to have to reopen up the next meeting, Todd. So this meeting will close in the next couple minutes. Thank you.
And there we are. Oops. Well, so much for the hyperlink doing what it needs to do.
That's the name of the page.
Let's see here. Let me do this. Seemed like such a simple solution. Okay, and all right, try that one instead.
Thanks, Mike.
Alrighty.
So I'll leave that open for a minute or two here so folks can try it out before I close this meeting.
And if I don't talk to you folks before then, have yourself a very happy Thanksgiving.